Hello, I've got a ton of new books for you this week, and so I'm going to break them into a few different categories. We'll go with standalones, new series, and returning series. As always, you can watch and listen to this straight through or go down to the description to click on the titles that you are interested in checking out. If you need a pick-me-up, this is the book for you. This comes from the author of Counting by Sevens, and it's another very heartwarming story. We have Sila, whose mom had traveled back to Turkey about a year ago to try to get the immigration paperwork that would let her stay in the US with her and her dad. And in the meantime, she's been hanging out with her dad. They live in Oregon. He's a mechanic. One day she goes with him to work and she meets this very old grandfatherly-like man who, lucky guy, just won the lottery a few months ago. And they bond over their mutual love for animals, and the two are determined to save this circus elephant named Veda. So on their journey to do so, they meet this very unusual boy named Matteo. All three of them become friends, and it's a sweet and sometimes funny story of unlikely friendships and the powerful connections that we have with animals. This is a great one for fans of books like The One and Only Ivan. Maggie has always been the odd one out. She's the oldest of two twin brothers and a soon-to-be third sibling, and they constantly dominate her parents' attention. So she begs for a puppy, and she finally gets one, only to learn that she's allergic the hard way, with hives and rashes and all the not-so-fun things. It turns out she's allergic to a lot of things, specifically a lot of animals, but she's determined to find the perfect pet and the perfect companion. It's a great graphic novel of friendship, of family, and what it feels like to try to belong. I think fans of Raina Telgemeier especially will really love Allergic. Wild River is an adventure story. We've got Daniel. He's away at camp on this whitewater rafting trip in Montana, and on the first night of the trip, he wakes up and people are screaming because the river's dam has broken and there's water coming straight at them to their campground. So his friends make it out, but his counselors don't. And so all of them together have to try to survive with barely any food, barely any supplies, and their camp is just done for. It's an awesome survival story. This is a brand new series. Rosie's always known that her mom's missing something. Unfortunately, it's something pretty big. It's that magical glue that makes mothers love their daughters. Rosie's used to it, and she's found a way to cope with it. She writes stories, and she finds comfort in that. One night, though, she's decided she's had enough, and she decides to throw all of her stories away. And while she's tossing it in the dumpster, she spots this Witch Hunter's Guide to the Universe, a book that claims that all the evil in the world comes from 13 invisible witches. One of these, the memory thief, she figures out, is the one that cursed Rosie's mother. Now that she knows what's wrong and she's read the book, she can see these once invisible ghosts in her house. One of them reveals exactly what happened to Rosie's mother and how to fix her. So together with her friend Germ, what a name, right? They set out to do just that. It's an awesome, ghosty, witchy fantasy about hope and the power of stories, and it seems like it's going to be a great new series. These are all new books in existing series, so I'm going to go through them pretty quickly since most of you are probably familiar with them. Wings of Fire is a super popular series, and the 14th one follows Snowfall, a young Icewing queen, as she faces some new untrustworthy visitors that show up seeking asylum. The third in the Cassidy Blake series follows Cassidy, who can see ghosts and whose parents are ghost hunters. But their travels to New Orleans in this one bring her face to face with some ghosts like none she's ever encountered. This is the second in the Infinity Cycle series about two brothers. It's set in New York, and two brothers each discover that they have this superpower that allow them to try to fend off the villains that lurk there. often in very high-power political positions. And in this one, Emile's on his own because his brother Brighton has been poisoned. This is a really great contemporary dystopian series for you dystopian fans. This fun mystery series comes from the author of Spy School, and it features Charlie, who's this super sleuth whose talent for solving long-standing mysteries takes her to the Galapagos Islands, where she's tasked with solving a 200-year-old mystery from Charles Darwin himself. And I don't think you need too much backstory for these two, Avengers, Vision and Scarlet Witch, and a new Minecraft story called The Mountain. These next three are all high school titles, but if you're interested, you can just shoot me an email. In this one, Carmen just wants her perfect romance, her happily ever after story. But things aren't really looking so great at the moment. She's stuck in this summer internship where not only is she not getting paid, but she has to perform as a party princess in Miami, in the heat, in a ball gown, and it's really not what she was hoping for. She tries to hold out hope as she plans the perfect quince for herself, but a terrible ex and a really spoiled cousin keep getting in the way. She fights to put her past and her not-so-great present behind her, and she's holding out hope for a second chance on happiness. It's a really cute romantic comedy that's great for fans of To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and reminds me a little of the TV series Jane the Virgin. Moira recently lost her best friend, Nathan, and she's been getting herself into some trouble since then. Actually, a little before then, and her parents have had enough and they decide to send her to this all-girls boarding school in the middle of the woods in Maine. And she is not interested. She's not interested in going and meeting new people or in getting over Nathan's death. But she's gonna have to, because she realizes when she gets there that just about everyone at Castle School has something they need to face. Whether it's depression, addiction, or like Moira, some terrible loss. This is a place where parents send their kids to get fixed. You learn each of their backstories, and they can't help but kind of pull together, even more so when they discover another Castle School nearby. But this one is a school for boys. And they're all happy and dancy and cheery. And so the girls start to wonder what exactly is going on with their doctors, and they learn that they have something that they're hiding. So it's a very interesting look at mental health issues and traumas, and it has the added benefit of a bonus little twisty mystery. This is the second in the Last Hour series, a romantic fantasy series that follows Cordelia, a shadow hunter, from Cassandra Clare's previous books. And a shadow hunter is a warrior that is trained to fight demons. It's set in London, and the second one has her engaged to her childhood sweetheart. But it all starts to unravel when she starts to learn the reason why he proposed to her and how it's all connected to the latest brand of demons that she must take down.